Good morning, everyone. Am I audible? Okay. So, 12th class, accountancy class, chapter 4, ratio analysis. Till now, we have done two ratios. I told you four categories of ratios are there. Two ratios we have done, liquidity ratio and solvency ratio. And today we'll start with activity ratios. This is the third category of the ratios. Before this ratio, we have done the ratios which relates to only balance sheet, in which all the balance sheet figures were used. But from this ratio, we will be doing the ratios which are based on the statement of profit and loss account. It means here statement of profit and loss as well as balance sheet figure will be taken in the formulas. In previous ratios, we were using only balance sheet, but from this category of ratio, we will be using both the financial statements, balance sheet as well as statement of P&L. So both must be in your mind, statement of P&L as well as balance sheet. The third category of ratio is activity ratio. And what is the alternate name of this ratio is the performance ratios or turnover ratios. Activity ratios are known as performance ratios or turnover ratios. Okay, performance ratios means the ratios which are uh, uh, calculated to know the performance of the business. Performance means financial performance as well as the operating performance of the business, whether the resources in the business have been properly utilized or not. It can be checked only by using activity ratios. These ratios measures the effectiveness with which the enterprise uses its available resources. Effectiveness means no resources waste. All the current assets like trade receivable, inventory, all type of inventory, all are effectively maintained in the business as well as effectively used in the business. Okay, so four ratios we have to calculate under this category. Four ratios we have to learn. Which four ratios you can make the web chart? Inventory turnover ratios, trade receivable turnover ratios, trade payable turnover ratios, and working capital turnover ratios. You can see that at the end of every ratio, turnover ratio is mentioned. Why? Because turnover means sales. So all these ratios are related to sales or cost of goods sold, which is known as cost of RFO. In previous chapters, we have done this cost of RFO. It is the new name of cost of goods sold. In 11th class, you did cost of goods sold. And the alternate name of cost of goods sold is cost of RFO. And the alternate name of net sales is RFO, which I previously told you. RFO means revenue from operations, main operations. So these four ratios, today we'll do only one ratio, that is the inventory turnover ratio. So what I told you about activity ratios, activity ratios are ratios which are calculated to know the business performance, how effectively the resources of a business are used. The resources should not be wasted in any manner. So to know whether the resources are effectively used or not, which ratios we have to calculate? Activity ratios. The alternate name of activity ratio is performance or turnover ratio. Four types of ratios are there. And now I'm going to start today's topic, that is the inventory turnover ratio. Inventory means stock. So here we are talking about the stock ratio. So inventory turnover ratio is the ratio which establishes the relationship in between cost of RFO. Cost of RFO, please write down all the formulas. It will be easy for you when you will be writing formulas by your own, because then learning will become more easy. Cost of RFO, which is known as cost of goods sold, COGS, upon average inventory. Cost of RFO, which is known as cost of goods sold upon average inventory, and the answer will come in times. In all the inventory turnover, all the turnover ratios, always the answer will come in times. Okay, so you are not going to write here 2:1, 3:1. No, you will be writing 3 times, 4 times. Okay, So now how to calculate these two variables and why we are calculating inventory turnover ratio? Because we just want to know whether the firm has maintained the inventory level accurately or not. There should not be any understocking or overstocking. So to know this, the average inventory levels are up to the limit or not, this ratio is calculated. So how to calculate the COGS? Already in 11th class, we have calculated the COGS. There I told you two formulas. Sales minus gross profit. I think you must have remembered the formula. Sales minus net sales minus gross profit. Net sales minus gross profit. So this is the first formula, net sales minus gross profit. And if gross loss is given, net sales here it is written RFO, revenue from operations. So in 12th class, you will be following the alternate name, that is the RFO. In all the questions, you will find the term RFO, not the net sales. But simultaneously, I am telling you net sales because net sales is fixed in your mind. So it will take time to change the concept. So RFO, revenue from operation minus gross profit. This formula already we have done in 11th class. Then if gross losses are given, then RFO plus gross loss. Please write all the formulas. RFO plus gross loss. One more formula I had given you in 11th class for COGS, the alternate name of COGS, cost of RFO, which was equal to opening stock plus net purchases plus direct expenses minus closing inventory. And if in question no information is given about direct expense, we will assume it zero, because it's written in bracket that assume to be given. If not given, then we will assume it zero. Okay, opening inventory means opening stock plus net purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock. This formula also we have done in 11th class. Suppose the business is manufacturing business, then this formula will be applied. So it will be depending on the information given that which formula you have to apply. If in this manner the information is given, then in this manner you have to apply. Like the earlier statement of P&L which we have done, statement of profit and loss in chapter 1 as well as in chapter 3, I have told you the format. In that format, one head was there, expenses, and here all the terms of that expenses head have been taken. First item of the head expense was cost of material consumed, that is written here, cost of material consumed. Second item was purchase of stock in trade, it is also given. Third item was change in inventory of finished goods, work in progress and stock in trade. Then leave all the other items, staff welfare expense, depreciation, amortization, finance cost, leave all those expense. You need not to consider here because all those expenses are related to P&L account. And in cost of goods sold, we are just considering the trading account items. So all these items are related to trading account. First three heads, I'm repeating, first three heads of expenses: cost of material consumed, purchases of stock and trade, changes in inventories of finished goods, work in progress, plus direct expenses. Again, if it is given, only then we will be considering it. Otherwise, we will take it zero. So I think, am I clear with this formula of cost of goods sold? You have to calculate it every time. It will not be given in the question, cost of goods sold. So either of the three formulas you will be using depending on the information given. If gross profit is given, RFO is given, then you will be using the first formula. Only when RFO or gross profits are not given, then you will be using the last formula or the third formula. Third formula is opening inventory plus net purchases plus direct expense minus closing inventory. In 11th, we have already did this. Then if cost of material consumed is given, then you will be using this formula. So try to learn this formula. If you are not learning it, then you will not be able to apply it in the given questions or to solve the questions. Now the second variable of the formula is average inventory. For average inventory, write down the formula is opening inventory plus closing inventory divided by 2. Opening inventory plus closing inventory divided by 2. Opening inventory plus closing inventory divided by 2. So am I clear? So information will be given regarding all these items. So you have to find out both the variables and put the values in the formula and find out the answer. And why this ratio is calculated. In direct expenses, you already know that all those expenses which were coming in trading account, like wages, carriage, freight, inwards, power, gas, fuel expenses, all these are direct. Suppose any telephone bill is given, then it will not be considered. It means while taking the direct expenses, you will be considering only the expenses which were coming in trading account. If any P&L expense is given, then you are not going to consider it. Okay, so that is given just to confuse you people. So what is the objective of calculating this ratio? The objective of calculating this ratio is to find out whether the investment in stock has been judicious or not. Judicious or not means whether there is a understocking or overstocking. Means whatever the investment we have made in stock, that must be optimum, not the more than limits, not the less than limits. If more than stock we have maintained, then our funds will be blocked in stock, capital will be blocked in stock, and anytime the taste and preference of people may change and we may have the losses. And if understocking is there, in that case the demand is coming, but we are not having the stock, we are out of stock. In that case we will not be able to fulfill the demand of the customer. So every time a business need to maintain the levels, accurate levels of stock. Okay, students. So higher the ratio is better ratio. Whatever the performance ratios we are calculating, if they are higher, then it is a better situation for the business. So now I'm going for the example. One example I'm explaining you. Cost of RFO is already given in this example. You can see, you need not to calculate it. 4,50,000. This is the cost of RFO. 4,50,000. Second inventory is in the beginning of the year. That is the opening inventory. Inventory is at the end of the year, that is closing inventory. So first of all, you have to find out cost of RFO, that is already given. Second step, find out average inventory. Formula for average inventory, opening inventory plus closing inventory divided by 2. So the average inventory is 1,12,500. So now divide 4,50,000 divided by 1,12,500, which is equal to 4 times. Am I clear, student, with the formula, or should I explain any other thing in formula again? Please tell me so that we can move for the next questions. Please tell me, is the formula clear? Yes, students, please tell me, formula is clear or not? Or should I explain the formula again? Okay, Thira is saying that repeat. So I'm repeating the formula. Nothing is difficult here. The only thing, average inventory, you will be easily able to calculate. Opening inventory plus closing inventory divided by 2. The important formula here is only finding out COGS. Okay, so COGS, 4 formulas are there. Revenue from operations minus GP, this you have already done in 11th class. RFO plus gross loss, but obvious, if profits are deducted, then loss will be added. Third formula you have already done in 11th class, opening inventory plus net purchases plus direct expense minus closing stock. These 3 formulas are not new to you people. You have already done in 11th class. Then fourth formula is the new formula, actually which is not new, but only the terms are new. Formula is same. Cost of material consumed, purchase of stock in trade, inventory, changes in inventories of finished goods. You have to learn all these terms. And direct expense. If direct expenses are given, only you are going to add, otherwise assume it 0. Direct expense, you all know that all those expenses which were given in the trade account, like wages, if salaries are given, then it is indirect. It will not be considered. Wages, carriage inwards, freight inwards, power, fuel, royalty, gas, factory expenses, all the factory expenses are direct expense. And why this ratio is calculated? This ratio is calculated to check the whether the investment in stock is judicious or not, accurate or not. There may not be understocking or overstocking at any time. Yes, Shubhangi is asking, is it possible that in some question we have calculated the inventories as well? Yes. But both the inventories, only one inventory may be given, like closing stock is given 60,000 and it will be written that opening stock will be 1/3. of the closing stock. In this manner, just by solving the equations, you need to calculate the inventories. Otherwise, in maximum of the question, inventories will be given. If opening inventory is given, then you need to know calculate the closing, and if closing is given, then you need to calculate the opening. And just by making simple equations, by taking x or by adding something or by deducting, like closing inventory is 50,000 more than the opening inventory, it may be given in the question. In that case, opening inventory must be given in the question. So just by adding 50,000, you will be able to know the closing inventory. So simple equations you have to make, not very difficult. Okay, so I am now displaying the next question. So you have to find out the answer. First, revenue from operations is given, which is 5 lakh. Inventory again here is given. So it's a very simple question. You have to put the values in formula just. Yes, fast.
Yes. 2 लाख, 1 लाख.
Yes, students. Have you done? Yes. Yes, everyone. Yes, everyone is giving me correct answer. Very good. So I'm going for next question. 5 times. Do it fast. Here you have to calculate COGS. Opening inventory 30,000, purchases 69,000, carriage inwards 3,000, closing inventory. Actually, it is not visible. I'm telling you the figures. You can note down. I'm telling you the figures, students. You can note down. Closing inventory 9,000. Note down. Closing inventory 9,000. Wages 4,500. Closing inventory 9,000. Wages 4,500. Freight outwards 5,000. Closing inventory 9,000. Wages 4,500. Freight outwards 5,000. Find out answer fast. Both the inventories are given. So first of all, find out. Yes, students. Opening inventory 30,000. I am waiting for your answer. Purchases 69, carriage 3,000. Then I told you the other figures. So 1 more minute I am giving you. Try to complete it. I am waiting for others' answer, student. Only then I'll be telling you answer. Okay, many students has given me answer. So let's check the answer. Inventory turnover ratio. Yes, very good students. Good understanding. Clap for all of you. So inventory turnover ratio is equal to cost of RFO upon average inventory. Cost of RFO. Again, the same formula which we have learned in 11th class. Opening inventory plus purchases plus direct expense minus closing inventory. Here opening inventory 30,000, purchases 69,000. No purchase returns are there. If purchase returns are there, then we have to deduct it. So carriage inward is a direct expense. Wages is also direct expense. Freight outwards, it's not direct expense, it's indirect. Freight inward is direct. So we will be not considering this freight outward here. So the Cost of revenue from operations 97,500 and average inventory, opening inventory plus closing inventory 30 plus 9, 19,500 average. Find out next. Question number 68. Find out fast. I am reading the question. Cost of RFO means COGS is already given. So your work has become very easy because in this question COGS is given 3 lakh. Purchases 3,30,000. Opening inventory 60,000. COGS is already given. So you need not to do any effort. So what is missing in this question? The other variable you need to find is average inventory. But to find out the average inventory, we must have the closing inventory. But in this question, closing inventory is not given. So what to do? Use the formula of COGS, write all the given figures and find out the hidden figure. Assume direct expenses are 0 because no information is given in regard to direct expense in question. So assume it's 0. Direct expenses are 0. So COGS equal to 3 lakh, which is equal to purchases plus opening stock plus direct expense minus closing stock. Put the figures, whatever is given, assume direct expense 0 and you will be able to find out the answer. Yes, very good. All are giving me correct answer. Very good understanding, students. So in this manner, question will be there. Sometimes you need to calculate COGS, sometimes you need to calculate any of the stock. Either opening will be given or closing will be given. So you have to find out any of the stock. So this will be the answer. 4 times 3 lakh upon 75,000. So closing inventory here is 90,000. How we have find out the closing inventory? By putting the figures in the formula of COGS. Next question. Opening inventory 29,000. If you are not able to see, I am telling you the figures. Opening inventory 29,000. Purchases 2,42,000. Revenues from operations, which is net sales, RFO. Net sales are already given. 3,20,000. 3,20,000. Gross profit 25%. Gross profit 25% on sales. Calculate inventory turnover ratio. Here gross profit is given. So to find out COGS, we will be using the very first formula. What was the first formula? Net sales minus GP is equal to COGS. Now net sales are given 3,20,000 and GP is given 25% on sales. So 25% of sale amount is 3,20,000. 25 upon 100 into 3,20,000. So gross profit here will be 80,000. So 320 minus 80. Very good, Anush, Anshika, Abhishek. Very good, Jatin. You all are giving me correct answer. So in this manner we will be doing. But remember, students, that you have to show all these calculations to get full 4 marks. If you are just writing the answers and doing all the calculations in rough work, then you must not be able to get the marks. Okay. So shall I go for the next question, which will be the last question for today? Have you done? Yes, students, tell me, have you done? Okay. So the next question. Now I have highlighted one thing in this question. I'm reading the question. Opening inventory 29,000. Closing inventory 31,000. Opening and closing both inventories are given. So easily we can find out the average inventory by adding both inventory and divided by 2. RFO is already given 3 lakh and GP is given on cost. Students, do you remember the questions which we have done in 11th class in which sales were given and profit was given on cost? Then if you remember, try to solve it. Otherwise, I will explain it. I'm giving you 2 minutes. GP is given on cost. So in this question, we cannot find out 25% of 3 lakh. Why? because 3 lakh is the sales and cost here means COGS. GP is calculated on COGS. In this question, GP is calculated on COGS, gross profit 25% on cost. Calculate inventory turnover ratio. Yes, 25% on cost. So in such type of questions, let assume cost is equal to 100. I also told you in 11th class the same formula. Cost equal to 100. So what will be the selling price? 25% of cost. 25 is GP. 100 plus 25. 125. So all those students who have able to do this, very good. And all those who are not able to do this, just use the trick. When GP is given on cost, then what you have to do? 100 plus GP. GP is given on sales, then 100 minus GP. If in question RFO is given and GP is given on cost, means two terms are not same. Sales are given and GP is given on cost, or cost is given and GP is given on sale. So these two tricks you can use. If GP is given on cost and the sales are given in question, then 100 plus GP. And if GP is given on sales and the COGS is given in the question, then 100 minus GP. So here sales are given and GP is given on cost. So what will be the formula? 100 upon 125 into 3 lakh. So the formula will be sales into 100 upon 100 plus GP. Sales, so you will be able to find out the cost. So cost in this question is 2,40,000. And if the reverse case is there, 3 lakh is COGS and GP is given on sales, then the formula will be 3 lakh into 100 upon 75. Okay, plus GP minus GP, the formula will remain same. In one case you have to add GP and in another case you have to deduct GP from 100 because it is in percentage form. That's why we are deducting it from 100. So 100 plus GP when sales are given and GP is in cost. Why on cost I am adding GP? Because goods are sold cost plus profit. That's why in cost I am adding GP. And when sale price, cost price is given and we have to find out the sale, GP is given on sale. So that's why to find out the cost from sale, we have to deduct the GP. So I have deducted the GP here. So many students have given me correct answers. Very good students. So here today's topic is ended. So we have done all type of questions and in evening, by the evening, I'll be sending you assignment. So you have to complete that assignment. Now I'm going to start with video lecture. You just put on your videos. We'll be discussing some formulas and other things. And my request to all of you that